If you come at the king, you'd best not miss, and if you do succeed, you'd better be ready to look over your shoulder for the rest of your days. Welcome, history enthusiasts. Today's video uncovers history's most notorious traitors and the consequential punishments they faced. A saga of betrayals met with swift justice, provoking contemplation on the enigmatic force of karma. So, without unnecessary interruptions, let's not miss the purpose for which we gathered here, unlike the stories you are about to hear about, and dive into the action. So let's start with the story of how the Pazzi Conspiracy backfired tremendously. When the Renaissance is mentioned, Florence often springs to mind. Although a republic in name, the city was effectively governed by the influential Medici dynasty. Cosimo de' Medici held sway over Florence for 3 decades until his death in 1464. The Medicis amassed wealth in banking, generously patronizing the burgeoning arts scene. Yet envy brewed, leading the rival Pazzi family to conspire against the Medici dominance. Pope Sixtus plotted, subtly endorsing the Medici's removal, vowing to ally with their usurpers. The plan was simple: assassinate Lorenzo and his brother Giuliano. Yet, the brothers' separation thwarted the initial strategy. Finally, during Mass, the attackers struck. Giuliano fell, stabbed brutally by Francesco Pazzi. Lorenzo, injured but alive, escaped. Jacopo Pazzi aimed to incite public rebellion but misjudged, leading to his own demise. Francesco met a similar fate, lynched by an angry mob. Jacopo's punishment exceeded death. His body, exhumed and tossed outside city walls, was dragged through town by local children, then cast into the river Arno. The Pazzi Conspiracy's fallout was catastrophic. Instead of weakening the Medicis, it fortified their rule. Surviving Pazzis faced banishment. Pope Sixtus, met with indifference upon death, found little sympathy from the Medici camp. Now we will move on to a story about a tremendous success that ended in an even greater failure. Valentinian III cut off his right hand with his left. By the 5th century CE, the Roman Empire's western realm faced decline, unlike the thriving eastern counterpart. Ravaged by barbarians, corruption, and famine, the empire lay vulnerable to looting. Attila, the formidable Hun king, pillaged through Western Europe, reaching what is modern-day France. His advance was thwarted in the Battle of the Catalonian Fields in 451 CE by a coalition of Visigoths, Saxons, Alans, and Romans, led by General Flavius Aetius. Aetius barely managed to repel another Hunnic invasion into Italy the following year. However, Aetius, despite his exceptional service, met betrayal from Emperor Valentinian III. Suspecting Aetius of plotting to replace his firstborn with his own son, the emperor schemed against the revered Roman general. Summoned before Valentinian, Aetius faced baseless charges of drunkenness and insubordination, leading to his killing by the emperor and court chamberlain Heraclius. The repercussions were swift. Valentinian's ominous act foretold his own demise. In less than 6 months, 2 of Aetius's loyalists sought vengeance. Within the heart of the city, at the Campus Martius, they assassinated Valentinian and Heraclius in broad daylight. Despite numerous guards nearby, none intervened to aid the fallen emperor. But before we continue to more karma stories, you are invited to subscribe to the channel and continue to discover secrets from our wonderful world. Brutus skipped the long-term section of his plan book. Marcus Junius Brutus, famous for his part in the plot against Julius Caesar on the Ides of March in 44 BCE, teamed up with brother-in-law Gaius Cassius Longius to halt Caesar's alleged threat to the Roman Republic. Though motives varied, the conspirators saw themselves as liberators. In the theater of Pompeii, where old alliances turned to enmity, Caesar faced 23 stabs. Who landed the final blow remains a mystery. Brutus's oversight of sparing Mark Antony and misjudging public sentiment led to chaos.
My child.
Caesar's populist policies garnered immense support, sparking outrage at his demise. The Senate House burned, forcing the conspirators into exile. Seeking redemption in Greece, Brutus and Cassius clashed with Mark Antony and Octavian at Philippi, facing defeat twice. Cassius, misinformed, ended his life. Brutus, in parallel tragedy, met the same fate the next day, sealing the demise of their cause. Ironically, the Roman Republic they sought to preserve crumbled. Augustus, once Octavian, emerged victorious over Mark Antony, marking the Republic's end. and the rise of another Caesar. And let's sigh in one of the classics in the story of the brutal betrayal of Benedict Arnold. During the American Revolutionary War, Benedict Arnold, a decorated general in the Continental Army, etched his name into infamy through an act of treachery that would forever tarnish his legacy. Frustrated by perceived slights and seeking greater wealth and recognition, Arnold secretly conspired with British Major John André to surrender the fort at West Point to the British forces in exchange for a hefty sum of money and a high-ranking position in the British Army. However, André's capture exposed the plot. Arnold narrowly escaped and defected to the British side. While André faced a harsh fate, he was executed as a spy by the Americans. Arnold's betrayal led to a legacy marred by scorn and ignominy. Although he received a commission as a brigadier general in the British Army, he was largely distrusted and shunned by both sides. His name became synonymous with treachery and betrayal in American history. As we wrap up, here's a tip. If you're gunning for the throne, make sure your aim is spot on. Begging the crown but leaving enemies behind, that's like inviting a revenge party you don't want to attend. Remember, backstabbing bites back. Watch out for that sneaky crown's payback. And always remember these unfortunate individuals before you take your step. And if you have already taken it, then think about the consequences.